Hey everyone, so this is going to be a quick, very, not so much edited video because we've just had some news. So, on the outer Discord server, we just had the devs telling us that there's a new patch that has come out. So, it's not actually on the live game, it's on the public test branch. You can actually access the public test branch through Steam in the properties of your game, and you go to beta. So you go to properties, betas, and you go there. So you by default you should be there, default mono, and so you go to public beta experimental builds. So we're gonna have a small patch. So yeah, as you can see, it is there. So we have the new patch that has just come out yesterday, and so I wanted to quickly take the time to have a look at what's new and give some of my thoughts about it. So as you can see, so for the changes, so I didn't expect much. I'm already surprised they did something at all, and so let's see. Added an invert camera X axis option. Okay, I'm sure it helps people, but it's not something I'm interested in. Iron wristband can now be purchased from CSO's blacksmith. Oh, okay. So I see why they did that. So previously, if you wanted to start the game with some knuckles, you had to craft the cloth knuckles. I don't use knuckles much. I still haven't released the knuckles guide video because I still have to do it. But I guess now it allows players to start out with better knuckles from the beginning. Probably not too much of a bad change because most people had to really start with a very, very bad weapon. Shield charge can now be performed while being sheathed. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So yeah, I remember this. So I've used the shield quite a bit. I've been a shield user for quite a while, and yeah, that's true. It was annoying, especially sometimes you just had to quick react and your weapon was sheathed and you could not perform the shield charge, which did not make any sense since the weapon was already out. And so you had your character just pulling at his weapon and then shield charging, which was pretty annoying sometimes. Using flamethrower with a virgin lantern enchanted with copper flame enchantment now inflicts extreme poison instead of regular poison. Okay, that's an interesting one. Okay, so I guess it makes Virgin Lantern Copper Flame more viable, even if a lot of enemies are resistant to poison. This gives me a few ideas from some builds. I have to think about it. But that's good. Like, it seems to be mostly buffs, from what I can see, and game definitely like one of the problem with Outward is that some things are close to useless in the late game. So seeing some buffs, especially to things like that, is interesting because it's hard to get. Like it demands quite a big investment to get enchantment and a Virgin Lantern and everything. So I think it should be worth it. So that's definitely a good change. Poltergeist. Okay, let's see what they did. Enchantment now converts 50% of the physical damage to raw damage and repairs 0.5 durability per second. That's an interesting change. So let's talk a bit about Poltergeist. Poltergeist used to be an interesting but bad enchantment. So the problem with Poltergeist is that it converted part of your weapon's damage to true damage, but it reduced overall damage. The problem with an enchantment like that is it can only be worth it whenever enemies have very high resistances. And there was tools in the game to bypass resistances already, which made going full physical damage always better than raw damage. Just because of so people always chose Whiplash over Poltergeist. Now with this change, it might completely shift the meta. Well, if we can talk about a meta in Outward, it's not really a thing. I don't know about the numbers because like I don't want Poltergeist to become like the problem before that was that people always took Whiplash over Poltergeist if you wanted something to be the best. I don't want Poltergeist to become so much better than Whiplash that people don't take whiplash anymore. I want it to be an option, not a necessity. So we'll have to test things out with that. Desert Kopesh can now receive a War Memento and Rainbow Hex enchantment. That's good. Okay, I know why this is there. So, not so long ago, when I was browsing the Discord, I saw that someone was asking why the Desert Kopesh did not have good enchantment, as it was such a cool looking weapon, and I agree, that's one of the simple but very good looking weapons in the game. And so Guillaume, the CEO of Nine Dots, was like, oh yeah, you're right, why not? And so I completely understand why this is there, because this is definitely something that a change that comes from the Discord and someone who actually commented on how this weapon should get more attention. And remove mana cost penalty for Master Gazite boots. Okay, I understand why this is there. So the way magic and mana works in Outward is that, so if we talk a bit about the lore, is that the connection to magic comes through the head. And so that's why mages should never wear heavy helmets, because it dampens their connection with what they call the ley line, which is the source of magic. And so in Outward, every heavy headpiece has a mana cost increase. And so I never really understood why they put a mana cost increase on the Master Kazite boots. It never made much sense. And so I completely understand why they removed that, as I think it never should have been there in the first place. Okay, there's quite a lot of fixes. Well, okay, let's say a thing about fixes. I'm glad there's some fixes now, but I don't understand why they took so long to actually fix a few things. The Definitive Edition has been out for quite a while, so there's already been a patch, but it almost took them a year to make another one, and so I don't really understand why it took so long to at least fix things. But let's look at what they fixed. Fixed an issue where placing an upgrade in the chapel would decrease housing count, which could, okay. Fixed Jagger Sullivan reward when all the evidence are collected at the end of a Purify quest. Fixed an issue where Izan appears in both the palace and hideout after triggering the fight against Serene. Fixed an issue. I'm trying to see if there's a lot of fixes. I'm trying to see if there's any fix that of something I have experienced. Fixed an issue of Samia. Yeah, okay, I see this one. Fixed an issue where it would not be possible to block anymore after being knocked down while casting a spell. There was quite a few situations where the block button would simply stop working, and so I'm glad they're fixing this. Fixed Blood Sigil. Virgin Lantern could not properly use to arm a pressure plate trap. Fixed an issue where the Golding material will always respawn. Yeah, I've been aware of this one, and people were using it to farm light, because like the Golding Matriarch is a monster that appears in the Voltaic Hatchery in the first region in Chersonese, and so it's supposed to be one of these mini bosses they introduced with the Definitive Edition. And they are not supposed to respawn, and so people were using it to farm light particles, because it was the only one who respawned for absolutely no reason. There's a few of them which I've not seen, but were pretty funny. Fixed performance issues due to light yeah, okay, I see this one. Yeah, I don't think they fixed the We'll see. I'd probably make another video where I test out a few things. I want to know if they fixed the issue where the imbues would completely bug out in the mana lake of the Antique Plateau. Fixed Terran issue near Old Sirocco. Fixed an issue where Runic Trap would fail to detonate when deployed by the guest player. Okay, I've experienced this issue. I remember it. Yeah, I remember grenades sometimes not exploding. So yeah, I see. Fixing issue affects levels in an arena. Online co-op IRS switch would not be possible. Okay, I don't remember this one. I don't think I've experienced it. Tent already in use. Fixed an issue of two players taking a back at the same time would result in each seeing the back. Oh, okay. I've seen this one. Fixed an issue of a parasite in general would be invisible when detaching. Okay, I've never experienced this one. I fought the giant harp. Never seen it. Yeah, okay, I remember this one. Fixed an issue where the player would not be able to attack bare fist after dropping a weapon. Yeah, sometimes the punching animation would never play, and I did not really understand why. Tuned bloom to remove artifacts. I don't understand this one. Bloom. I don't remember this one. I don't even know what it refers to. Fixed an issue is probably bloom is probably a spell, but I don't remember what it does. Fixed an issue where traveling with building upgrade would not progress in game time. Okay. Fixed various localization typos. Okay, I've always played the game in English, so I don't. Well, I've played the game in French too, but I don't remember this. And let's see, there's 9 comments. Love this game. Wow, that Poltergeist. Yeah, I understand what people say about Poltergeist. Yeah, okay. This worries me. Fingers crossed. And yeah, that's what this guy said. I completely agree. Certainly wasn't expecting such an update this late. But I'm excited to see. And so I'm going to end this video on this. I'm actually quite glad. So the last patch was almost 1 year ago, which was the patch for the Definitive Edition. And so releasing a patch 1 year after is interesting. Something I definitely wasn't expecting. I really thought that nothing more would be coming out for Outward. And so we'll see, because remember, this is not a definitive patch. It's not on the default version of the game yet. It's on the public beta test branch. I will probably release another video not too far from a year, not too long after this one, because I really want to test a few things, especially this new Poltergeist and the Desert Coppish. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye. And I'm glad to be part of the Outward community, and glad to see that the game has something new to test out. I'll see you again. Bye.